So, everybody, welcome to the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. Count number 3 for our 3 count, our 2 week extravaganza here. We are going to do a
We're going to see some TNA.
we probably just finished watching TNA's TV tapings on Sunday, so that's why we're not on live. And we for our third count here are going to talk a little bit about this story coming from Inside the Ropes. Jon Moxley hints at new Blackpool Combat Club member. AEW faction has remained a tight unit since 2022. They initially consisted of Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and William Regal serving as mentor. The BCC would later add Wheeler Yuta after Yuta earned the respect of his peers following a violent battle with Moxley. With Danielson not cleared to face Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door 2022, Claudio, what is it?
Castagnoli.
You almost had it.
All right.
Yeah, Castagnoli.
Cesaro was brought in as replacement. Since June 2022, no new members have been added to the group. However, this might be changing in the near future. Speaking at the press conference following his match at Wrestle Kingdom, Moxley admitted that he has a long list of goals he wants to accomplish in Japan in the next 12 months. Quote, I have a lot of stuff I want to do in Japan in 2024. I've faced and defeated a litany of some of the greatest stars in the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling. There is a long list of shit I can do in Japan and a long list of moments and holy shit stuff that I can do in Japan. Brian, my Blackpool Combat Club teammate, he's wrestling Okada right now. I want to go out and see that. I want to see him make Okada tap out and break his arm after what he cost him. Blackpool Combat Club has plans in Japan for 2024 and beyond. I want to come back with Bryan Danielson and Cesaro. I want to get Wheeler Yuta, our young rookie,
young boy,
out here and have him test himself, improve his medal with all the great young competitors in Japan. Bushrod has a great relationship with Stardom, and there is a lot of great women's pro wrestling. Joshi Promotions in Japan, and this is some of the best women's wrestling in the world. Referencing a possible new member, Moxley referenced Marina Shafir and stated he wanted to see Shafir showcase her skills overseas, noting that she would be a BCC representative if she competed in Japan. Quote, friend of the Blackpool Combat Club, Marina Shafir, it's a goal of mine to get her out in Japan, seeing her wrestle. I think the fans of Japan, when you see her submission skills or judo skills or martial arts skills on the mat, I think fans of Japan will absolutely adore the violence she can bring to women's wrestling. That's something I hope to have in the future. Marina Shafir, she wants a shot in Japan. Bring the best women you've got, because that's one of the baddest bitches walking the planet, and she'll come over here representing the BCC. Well, then, there we go. One of the baddest bitches on the planet might be joining the BCC to wrestle in Japan. Rob, you brought this up. Why?
They need something. They need to grow, and they've been very squishy. And in the same way that Chris Statlander was able to take the best friends to another level, you need to do something like that, because the BCC has had a horrible 2023. Wheeler Yuta is still not over, and he's not winning. He's not. Daniel Garcia wins matches.
Wheeler Yuta's number one fan is on the panel, George. George loves Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah. Wheeler Yuta, he's not good on the mic. He's not excellent in the ring. Garcia had some amazing matches with Bryan Danielson, and they didn't take Garcia. And Garcia has some mic skills, and he's good in the ring.
And he can dance.
What? And he
And
can
he-
dance.
But you know what's funny? Just to interrupt real quick. I'm sorry, I apologize. You want to know the biggest thing I hate about Wheeler Yuta? His hair. The little thing he has it off to the little side, like a little boy band, pretty boy. It's like you're supposed to be a badass. Get a haircut. Get a
And,
buzz.
that,
Well,
and
the
that,
beard-
the
but here's the
beard,
thing.
the beard doesn't help.
Here's the thing. I hate his name. I don't. He has 2 last names, and they're both terrible. He has the John Moxley, the Mox. Like holy shit, Brian Danielson. Okay, but then they go the American Dragon, the Swiss Cyborg, Wheeler Yuta. What?
The black beard. They're missing
And
out.
the ridiculous. He looks like he's a fucking inbred hillbilly. I don't know what his deal is. I don't get him. I can't get behind him. But when he started in with them, he was bleeding. He was taking bumps. He was taking punches. He was looking like good. I'm going to be your young boy, and I'm going to get punched in the face. Great. And he never grew beyond that. They use him to lose matches. When they have a big 4-way match, I know this fucker's getting pinned every goddamn time. And he never disappoints. He always gets pinned. He always gets freaking pinned. And never once did they give him an ultimatum. Never once did they. I would love to have seen them bring him in the back and beat the shit out of him and go, hey, you lost us another match, Wheeler. Yuta. Well, I don't know how to address him. Is he Wheeler or is he Yuta? And never once did they ever give him that kind of hazing that he deserved. They give him pass after pass after pass after pass. And then on top of that, the other 2 schmucks in the Blackpool Combat Club are hurt all the time. Moxley's got the physique of a freaking 70-year-old man who has one last fight in him. And freaking Claudio Castagnoli, he's good, but now he's too good for the other 3. And then you've got Brian Danielson is squishy. Brian Danielson is like that rubber doll from the Mr. Bill or whatever. Oh no! You know, he gets punched in the face, he gets a concussion, he breaks a leg, he's squishy. And then he goes, I'm leaving next year anyway. So what do? Who's the most gnarly looking bitch that comes in barefoot and we don't have anything for her to do? Marina Shafir. And who do they always talk about? Somebody we should fear. Marina Shafir. We should fear this woman. She's rough. She's rugged. She is their version of the Queen of Hearts or the Queen of Spades. She is the their version, that one who just does nothing. I'm blanking out on the name right now because that's how relevant she is. Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler was sold to us as this unstoppable beast and goes nowhere. So at least in AEW, they're like, look, we're doing tons of factions. We're doing a lot of stables. And we'll do intergender stables because we could use that to pull somebody up. So let's pull her up. We have nothing to do with her. We have nothing for her to do. Let's pull her up and use her. Good. It works in AEW. It works.
Okay, wait, I'm going to stop it there because Steve, you watch the product, you know the product very well, and he specifically is just talking about her going to Japan. So does it
but
really?
Koki Khan will put her on Dynamite.
Sorry, did you call him Koki Khan?
Koki Khan. He'll put her on Dynamite.
It sounds like one of the comedians on After You, Rob.
Coming up next, Koki Khan. Trust me, half the ones in Vegas do coke.
No shit. I think that number one, I find it interesting that you bring up Shayna Baszler as a parallel in WWE, especially considering they were part of the 4 horsewomen of MMA. There's that. Nonetheless, I think that
just good looks in a shiny head.
I know. The thing that I'll say, I don't have a problem whatsoever with factions expanding and including a female member. I think that it's something that if they are quote unquote serious about trying to do anything with their women's division, they need to ensure that the women have a platform that's at least similar to that of the guys.
But
As of right now,
once again, let me throw it at you. He's just saying Japan.
I know. But I'm throwing this out there just to make his point as well. I wouldn't have a problem with this. Now, if they're talking about strictly in Japan, then I could see, because AEW doesn't do house shows, they don't have non-televised events. I think that this could be a way for them to introduce her into the fold. And then, depending on if there is any kind of chemistry, if they do think that it would be a good fit, then we could see that on mainstream AEW TV.
And what I would like to see, if you do that, is have the Best Friends versus the Blackpool Combat Club revisit that, but with the women added now.
And then can we have the Best Friends go away?
Is Statlander still kind of affiliated with them?
No, not at
No.
all. And she's
No.
not an alien anymore either. Apparently.
Well, she's not an alien, but no, she's cut a couple of weeks ago. She did that one promo where she was benching that one person, and so yeah, that was a Best Friend.
I think that they don't really know what the hell they're doing with Statlander right now. I think that there's a bigger problem afoot. They're doing this stupid fucking storyline right now with Stokely Hathaway. So they've quietly separated her out of the group. Trent obviously has been doing his thing. Orange Cassidy's doing his thing. Chuck Taylor, I don't know if he's injured, but he hasn't been on TV lately. So I don't know. They could be having some sort of transitional phase.
Is in there.
Yeah, Danhausen is in there. He's doing his thing. He's
Rocky
casting
Romero.
curses.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
It's the Best
yeah.
Friends. They're there's lots of
All right,
friends.
So George, when you look at this, I mean, realistically, here's a person that are we supposed to get excited about? Because,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, that's the thing that it comes down to. Yeah, you can bring her in, but you're limiting what you're saying that she would be doing. And how the fuck does she fit into this? Like, this is the coherency that I just don't understand in AEW. Does that make sense, George?
Yeah, I mean, so Marina Shafir, like I know her or I don't know her, or whatever. How did that promo go? I don't know her, or no, I don't know
When
her.
she was wearing that fucking hat.
Yeah, I still have nightmares about that promo.
I'm sure she does too.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm all for it. Right? Like, because for example, so Moxley is saying, like, oh, you know, we want to have Marina Shafir kind of be our Japanese representation. Where? Like in Stardom? Or because that's what's going on. I'd
That's what it
love to
sounds
see
like.
that. I mean, because these
Yeah.
girls going over to Stardom, like, yes, please. That talk about an upgrade. Imagine if somebody like a Rhea Ripley or like a Liv Morgan went into Stardom and just kind of did there. I saw a match with Mariah May and I had no idea. And I'm not the biggest fan. I know she comes across as a Barbie. I don't think she's that great looking anyways. But man, that girl can go. Like I think she can wrestle. Like, and I've never seen anything in Stardom aside from like a 2-second clip. But man, like her drop kick was great. She's great on the mic. If you can send somebody like Marina Shafir to Japan and get more of what she can bring, dude, I'm all for it. Whether it's BCC, she can represent, you know, all the whatever. She can be I don't know. How we all know how many factions there are in are the Trust Busters still a thing in AEW? Who knows? Whatever.
Well, what happened to the Inland Empire? Their thing, but their guys are all over the place.
Yeah, Marina's from Southern California. Maybe they can, you know, do another new version of SCU, you know. But whatever it is, like take her over. Dude, I'm all for it. And if that means if she's gonna do her Stardom thing and then come back into AEW better than ever, dude, that'd be awesome to have her in the BCC.
But the question is, and you just said it comes back better than ever. Is this essentially just Scott Norton and the NWO going over to Japan?
Sure, but that's not a bad thing either.
The one thing that you could say with AEW that is a plus is AEW acknowledges that other promotions exist, and I like that. I will always forever like that.
I have to give WWE some credit with the Endeavor purchase, man. Like, honestly, y'all know how, I don't want to say anti-WWE I was, but how I just didn't follow the product. And seeing the things that I've seen about them being more willing to work with other promotions, and the possibility of TNA being on the network or whatever, I that excites me, honestly, because now I see another company that's willing to work with other companies, because variety is the name of the game when it comes to professional wrestling. If you find something that you like, by all means, watch it and enjoy it. Whether
But
that's AEW, WWE, TNA, whatever it is.
let's
So much
keep
fucking
in
wrestling.
but let's keep in mind the biggest thing that just happened is the stepping down of the old guard of New
Yep.
Japan. And that opens the door to these guys who really see themselves as trying to be like what the WWE is, an international product. And that is going to be a big thing. George, do you see that, it's not even a forbidden door, but do you see essentially Warner Brothers, if you're talking movies, right? Warner Brothers and Fox getting together and making a movie together. You saw that happening in the movie industry in the 2000s, and that kind of changed the whole game. Sony fucking leased out, back to Marvel Spider-Man. So, is this something that if New Japan starts working with WWE could be something that definitely changes the game for New Japan getting more recognition as a bigger global company?
I think so. I mean, I think it definitely helps. I think no matter how many of these things we're going to see, we're never going to see Marvel and DC together. So I don't think this is ever going to lead up to like a WWE AEW merger or whatever, cross promotion show, whatever it is. But I mean, obviously, this all Japan relationship is a step in the right direction.
I'm never going to see Shane McMahon show up in a Dynamite ring.
I think you would
please no.
actually. I think that's more probable than not, if anything, with what's going on these days. Yeah, but I think obviously Vince had his world, and I'm not here knocking it, because obviously we're all here because of the world that he created. And in his mind, it was just the WWE, and that's it. Like that was his world, the same way that Stan Lee's world was Marvel, right? And we all loved Marvel, like we all loved the vision that Stan Lee created. Now that it's not his world anymore, and now you have all these people probably saying like, why don't we do something with something in Japan? Why don't we do something where maybe we can have a SummerSlam in the Tokyo Dome one day?
It's funny
Why don't
you
we do
say
something
that.
where you have a Royal Rumble in Mexico City at some point,
Vince prided himself on going, wow, there's all of these other territories and promotions that I was not allowed to touch. Screw this. I'm buying them all. Now you all wrestle one way, one style. And now we're going back to the way it began, where now there's all these new territories again. And now we're deliberately going to let them keep their borders, but we're going to exchange wrestlers so you get different styles. Because Moxley at AEW is not the same Moxley over in Japan. He wears tights. He wears wrestling booties. He put on a mask, for Christ's sakes, the other day. He put on a costume. Like, it's a much different guy. He has a whole.
Yeah, but at the same time, you put on a mask. I mean, he still bleeds through the mask.
Well, there's tampons underneath there. He's got wings for his protection. He needs all day absorption for his bleeding.
All right. Well, on that note, everybody, we'll leave the cliffhanger on that. And thank you for tuning in. DJ Impact should be back this coming week. So look forward to that. And thank you all for tuning in. George, thank you for joining us as he is reading the Death of the WCW book.
I noticed it's paperback.
In the paperback version, right? That's the new chapters in there.
They were using it to keep the door open for the shitter at the Barnes and Noble.
I bought this on clearance when Borders was closing.
Oh my god!
Wow!
And you just aged yourself.
Oh, I aged myself another time when I said how I started watching wrestling in the 80s.
Yeah. So,
which, by the way, did you know that Shannon Sharp was such a big wrestling fan?
I didn't up until the last couple of days. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, and now he's going to be doing stuff with WWE. How
I'm telling you, I want Cat Williams as a manager. That would be the best. That would be the freaking best. Tell me that
Listen here, Boo Boo. I just want to hear him call a wrestler Boo Boo.
okay, handle your business, boo-boo. We're going to get through this together right now. You sons of a bitches are really starting to piss me off.
Yo, this ring right here, Boo Boo.
I am the greatest wrestler in all of wrestledom.
and once again they'll upstage AEW by having a better Stokely Hathaway than AEW.
Oh my
has.
God, I didn't
Stokely
even think about
Hathaway is
that.
so damn annoying, and not even the good annoying. It's just like, why is he here?
Yeah.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I thought I was the
Alright.
only one that thought that. But that's good that everybody else. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
It's pretty much on that page right now.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, happy wrestling, everybody.